Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a pretty fascinating journey deep into the esoteric. We are going to be translating the incredibly dense, multi-layered mysteries of the dark moon into a practical, easy-to-use handbook for self-study and shadow work. Now, if you've ever looked at complex occult texts and felt totally overwhelmed by all the jargon, do not worry. We're going to break it all down together, turning that high-level theory into actionable insights you can actually use to master your own mind. Let's dive in. So, here's our roadmap for today. To make sure we navigate the shadows safely, we've got a really logical structure. First up, mapping the Qliphothic tree. Then, key aspects of Gamaliel. From there, we'll look at comparing Qliphothic energy densities, attuning to the dark moon, Gamaliel for daily productivity, and wrap up with mindfulness and shadow exercises. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, mapping the Qliphothic tree, the architecture. To get the big picture, we first need to orient ourselves. We have to pinpoint exactly where this specific sphere sits within the grand, dark architecture of the tree. Sitting right down there at the bottom center, Gamaliel essentially acts as the shadow of Yesod. You can think of it as the foundational threshold, literally the front door to your subconscious and the astral plane. It's the gateway, the very first deep dive you take when you decide to explore the hidden, nocturnal side of the mind. Moving right along to Section 2, Key Aspects of Gamaliel, Anatomy of the Sphere. So the original source texts often refer to Gamaliel as the obscene, or the dark side, which I know sounds super intense, but for us beginners, it's honestly best understood simply as the realm of illusions. A really helpful way to think about Gamaliel is to use a mirror metaphor. It's basically the cutting room floor of your mind. It is the exact place where all of those repressed dreams, your hidden instincts, illusions, and yes, even your imposter syndrome all live. It simply reflects back absolutely everything your conscious, waking mind tries to push away. Let's unpack the core ingredients of this sphere. It is fundamentally defined by the archetype of the triple moon, which represents three manifestations: Agrat, Naama, and Lilith. And because it's ruled by Lilith, the sphere operates like a highly fluid womb for dark, unconscious anti-creation. It is deeply, intimately tied to astral magic, dreams, and the generation of mirages. Basically, this is the factory where the raw material of your deepest fantasies and your deepest fears is generated long before it ever touches reality. Visually speaking, the sigil of Gamaliel hits the nail right on the head. You have the depiction of the triple moon working in perfect tandem with the beautifully intricate planetary seal of its ruler, Lilith. Now, these designs aren't just cool art. They literally embody the raw, untamed freedom of the black moon. Practitioners actually use these symbols as visual anchors. They help you dial into a very specific frequency, the dark, watery depths of your own suppressed intuition. Okay, on to Section 3, comparing Qliphothic energy densities, Gamaliel versus Samael. To truly wrap our heads around Gamaliel, it really helps to compare how it feels sensorily to another distinct Qliphah, like Samael. The contrast here is mind-blowing. Samael feels like this sudden, chaotic electric shock. It's like intellectual poison that forcefully deconstructs your thoughts. But Gamaliel, totally different vibe. Gamaliel feels like wading through a soft, thick, warm, magnetic mist. It doesn't attack your intellect. It bypasses the brain entirely and targets your emotional core. Specifically, the sacral chakra, the Swadhisthana, which is the center of desire. It draws you in through feeling, not force. Which brings us nicely to Section 4, attuning to the dark moon, practical application. Now that we've mapped the territory, how do we actually use it? The source material beautifully connects Gamaliel to this ancient alchemical formula known as vitriol. It's Latin, but it translates to visit the interior of the earth and by rectifying, find the hidden stone. So what does that mean for us? In the context of Gamaliel, the interior of the earth is your own dark subconscious. The idea is that by plunging into those messy depths without losing yourself to the illusions, you can purify or rectify your intent. And by doing that, you discover your hidden truth, the hidden stone. It's all about facing your shadows to unlock your actual power. Moving to Section 5, Gamaliel for daily productivity, systematizing shadow. And yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about productivity. This right here is why I love this stuff. We can literally translate this ancient dark alchemy into a hyper-practical framework for crushing your everyday work tasks. It is basically a three-step process. Step 1, you identify your workplace distractions and procrastination for what they really are, just illusions, mirages of the mind. Step 2, apply Gamaliel's insight by hunting down the emotional root of that distraction. Why are you really avoiding that email? Step 3 is the action. Harness that intense, focused emotional control to ruthlessly cut away the fluff. You literally use the energy of your own shadow to clear your desk and hyper-focus on your personal great work. It's a total game changer.
Almost at the end, Section 6, Mindfulness and Shadow Exercises Integration Tutorial.
So to actually master this integration, the sources give us a clear step-by-step tutorial for cultivating mindfulness inside this realm of illusions. First up is silent attunement. This is just learning to sit quietly and feel that thick magnetic energy without reacting to it, just letting it be. The second step is tracing the subconscious. When a distraction or an annoyance pops up in your day, use it as a mirror. Trace it all the way back to the suppressed emotion that caused it. And the third step is absolutely crucial. You have to rigorously document every single dream, every meditation, and every emotional shift in a dedicated grimoire or diary. You've got to log the data of your own mind if you want to conquer it. I want to leave you with this one final provocative thought. How much might your reality change when you finally stop fearing that dark mirror of the subconscious? Seriously, what happens when you stop running away from your distractions and start using them to systematically master your own mind? The tools of Gamaliel are literally waiting for you in the shadows, ready to be flipped into your greatest assets for focus and self-discovery. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Get out there, start exploring, and find your own hidden stones.